Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setters. So if you're seeing this, that means I'm in Vegas already. I'm be here till Saturday. So I'm going to cut out before the Labor Day weekend, but I will be there up till Saturday. So if you want to hook up, throw some dice, whatever, meet me or whatever, or give you some helpful advice, just go to dicesetters@gmail.com or go to Facebook or whatever you want to do, and we'll somehow find each other. So I had two choices, September the 10th or the 24th to go to Wild Horse Pass. We decided on the 24th. More people wanted the 24th. So set your calendars, September the 24th. I'll be there at Wild Horse Pass, and if we don't do good on craps, we'll switch over to slots. No, we'll definitely do good on craps. We do pretty good. It's pretty fun. Lots of fun there. This is a craps channel that I try to do everything. It's not just this table, it's the whole casino. When we were in Reno, we were at the Pepper Mill, and we did have an incident. They took care of us. Kudos to Pepper Mill. Most of the time, the casino will help you out. However, there is the huge however. I wasn't like Karen. I didn't come screaming at management. The problem that we had took place at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's not very much management at 2 o'clock in the morning. We even had to get up because they were going to move us again that same day. 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah, they want to move you again at 10 or 11. But we got everything handled. Peppermill handled us perfectly. But all I'm saying is that when a situation arises, you got to first sit there and think to yourself, am I in the right? And most of the time, when a situation like that arises, you're like, yeah, I'm in the right. But if I do the wrong thing, I'll be in the wrong, and that's not what they want. And you don't want to be the person that shows up on YouTube or TikTok that's shouting at people. That's not it. Find management. They'll sit there and fix it. I guarantee you they'll sit there and fix it, or at least they'll try to. But screaming and being a Karen, that's not it. And they once they found out that the incident happened, they even called me, and they even had a text service that I could sit there and text them that they respond to immediately. Fantastic. Way to go, Peppermill. Being that I am in the customer service, I own an auto shop. That's one thing I always am intrigued of is other employees. How do other people in different industries, how do they treat you? And for the most part, pretty good. Every once in a while you have one or two, but I mean, it's truly, everyone's doing a good job. All I'm saying is just go with the right spirit, go with the right attitude, go with the right, whatever. And most of your small little problems will work themselves out. If they don't, very kindly, nicely sit there and ask management for help, and they will help you. The thing I want to talk about today, and of course I can't do a trivia question because I'm going to follow it up with what I'm doing right now, but there is a way to sit there and take $5, 2 rolls of the dice, and turn $5 into over 400. You're like, wow, how is that? Or maybe it's a term you haven't heard of before, but it is called parlay. Parlay basically means that we're betting something, and when the payout comes to us, we're not going to sit there and take it. We're going to lay it all back on the table and hopefully do it one more time. When you look at Parlay, Google, and craps all in the same thing, you will find out that most people call it a sucker bet. The reason why is because they think that something like that is not repeatable. But we are dice setters. Dice setters, your bet, what you roll is repeatable as long as your mechanic is the same, and as long as the table is not so bouncy that that will just never ever happen. So let's try that. There are some sections in the table that are ready for parlay. Hard 10, hard 4, hard 8, hard 6. Some of these are different. Sometimes they'll say 2 or they can say 4. TO or 4. Sometimes this is 7, sometimes this is 8, sometimes this is 9, sometimes this is 10. It's all about basically the same. Another place that you would sit there and do a parlay would be, horn, definitely here, horn. and that is that when you make it, you're just going to let it sit and ride. These bets here, they don't get taken down until you 7 out. If you're betting on the horn, it is a one-time bet only. Last week, I was talking about the don't pass and about sitting there, you know, when other people are rolling, being on the don't pass. Other people were talking about how they parlay this. They sit there and keep on building it up. So definitely in the comments, let me know. What is like your number one thing to parlay? Or is it a word that you've heard, but you don't know how to use it? So we're going to sit there and do that today. We are going to sit there and parlay the hard ways, and we're going to keep the hard ways working even on our come up roll. And $5 is a good start. $1, yeah, it's nothing. If you're going to put $1, don't do it. Quick little note. Dice. There are 2 different styles of dice. One is slightly bigger than the other. One is 0.05 millimeters bigger than the other. One weighs more than the other. I practice with the heavier of the 2. Most casinos will be the heavier of the 2. However, if I was a casino, I would do the lighter of the 2 because it would be more bouncy. But as far as I know, of course they won't let you have a scale and place it on the table, but just from feeling it, I can feel the difference between the 2. In fact, that is the heavier one, and I believe these are the lighter, I believe. Yes, they are. They're green. I did that so that I would never get the 2 mixed up. So there are differences in dice. Actually, the green are bigger. The green's bigger than the red. So these are 19 millimeter, and these are 3/4. So I'm going to use the heavier of the 2. Puck is off. I don't know what we're going to do on our pass line or whatever, but we're just rolling. We're going to try to do parlay. We're going to do a parlay of the hard ways. An easy bet for me that I think will be just fine. You have the 6s crossed, and then you're going to pull it in front of you. So it'd be looking like that to you guys. But you'll have the 6s crossed, and you'll sit there and just pull that down, just like that, and that's the way you're going to roll it. 2 fingers in between. It's going to be a 5. We're going to leave our hard ways there. They don't disappear until we roll a 7. And there goes our 7. If you we'll lose those, put those back up there. If this actually happened, my first roll at the casino, now would be the time for me to change my dice setting. Tables change. You're like, well, that's not the way it was 2 weekends ago. Yeah. Do you know how many people threw on this table? Or threw up on the table? You have no idea. They could have changed the padding, they could have changed the dice, they could have changed anything, everything. So we're going to do a 1-2, 2-1, which will look like this to you. Same roll, kind of roll, same everything, just 2 different numbers. That's going to be a 3. This is where the horn world bet would be really well. to 11. If we were parlaying the horn bet, that's the second horn in a row. Let's try for 3. $10. Put our puck on 10. $8. And we rolled a 3. We also rolled a 12. There goes a 7. We didn't get a single hard way. $6 and 8, $5 becomes 45 up to 405. If you put it on the 10 and the 4, $5 becomes 35, and then from there it goes to 245. If you were at a table and someone continually hit hard ways, and I mean 6 rolls, they have 2 or 3 of them, that's the one you want to sit there and hit. Parlay it twice, take the money. I know sometimes that you sit there and get a little greedy and then just poof, goes away. But the thing you're going to have to think about is that's casino money. It's okay to sit there and let casino money go. $5, if you lose $5, it'll be the end of the world? No. Do it twice, get back either 405 or 245? Sure, why not? It's little things like that that make you a better craps player. Knowing when to lay money on the horn. Not just every time, but know which player is going to hit the horn. When are you going to hit the horn? Everything is repeatable if your mechanics are right up there. I have a camera on me. I've got to think about everything I'm doing. It's a little harder. Everyone, well, not everyone. People are asking about being that we have 1,000 subscribers when we can go live. I'm working on that. There was one YouTuber that did sit there and videotape craps live. However, they were the only player, which is okay. The biggest thing is that you don't want to catch people playing because you can use that against them, and you don't have their permission to sit there and do that. That's why all the slot people like Brian Christopher and Slot Queen and things like that, when they are going through the casino, when they're doing it live, they either aim it to the ceiling or they aim it to the floor. That way that you don't see every person that's in the casino. Because again, it's recording and that's not what people want. So I have to sit there and go through all the laws of Arizona, all the laws of Nevada, talk to the casinos, and we're working on it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But definitely there are places that I have set up that they will let this happen, but we just have to make sure that all the check marks are checked. It might be one thing that we try one time and they're like, no more. I don't know. It's not me that's making up the rules. Of course, it's the casino gambling laws, their laws, everything. And I'm with 2 different states, Nevada and Arizona. So we're trying. You just got to be a little patient. I was hoping that by the time we get to 1,000 that I would have already got the casino stuff worked out, but by talking to people, there are some people that are like, oh, you can't even film at a casino, and you're like, yeah, you can. People do it all the time. So those you just avoid, and you try to find the ones that want to, have it on YouTube. Why not? It's free, and it's free advertisement for them. Like, share, subscribe. You don't have to subscribe. We have over 1,000 people. But yeah, why not? Go ahead and subscribe anyways. Yeah, don't worry about it. And if there's things that you sit there and parlay that I didn't talk about, definitely sit there and say, hey, I always parlay this or I always parlay that, and I sit there and wait 2 turns, 3 turns. Give me an idea of how much, how far you try to parlay things. Some people it's only 2 rolls. Or I couldn't imagine going any higher. Most tables do have $1,000 limit, so there will be a cutoff. So that you go from 4 to 45 to 405. Well, the next one, you'd have to stop at 3. So tell me what you parlay. What's the easiest thing for you to parlay? Let's put it that way. What is you like? Man, I can do that. I can do that. 2 rolls, I can parlay that. Tell me. I'd like to know. Have a good one, guys.